Do you ever make your creator proud? Did you know that you can speak to Samantha to experience the side story of Devil's Den? I do, we do, we both, we were there. We were there. We weren't there. What we will be here for now. That's right. The next chapter. So let's do a 180. Whoop. Oh, let's do a 250. Oh my god. Excuse me. Let's go continue the chapter. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Don't mind me. Excuse me. Hey, how's it going? Do I want to continue? Yeah, I do. Let's go. A worm? Me, when I wake up in the morning, don't have my 4-pound 80 grilled cheese, and my head hurt. $4.80 for a grilled cheese? Expensive. For a grilled cheese? And then what's that down there on the left? It looks like banana bread for $4.60. Why is that? Why is it like that? $7 money for a milkshake. This is crazy. Day 2, 10 p.m. at the terminal. Tell me more. Hello? Hello. What was that? I said, can I get 2 lattes? Yeah, sure thing. You want those takeaway or not? For here, please. Go take a seat. I'll bring it over. And he brought it over bad. He did a bad job. Oh, crap. You right, mate? Yeah. All good. I should really get Ashley to do this. Sorry, what? Nothing. Just talking to myself. Alright. Gah. Where's the broom? Ashley? Where's the broom? Ashley? I need a hand. Come help me. Come on, I've got to find a broom. Not a girl. Why are you? Yay, thanks. Sorry. Asset is stiff AF. Oh, me too. Huh. Hey, are any of your friends around? Probably. What? When did you teach them to do that? I didn't. That one's just weird. Uh-huh. How are you doing, kiddo? Sleep deprivation's kicking in. Sometimes I feel like nobody ever sleeps in this cafe. Except Kishan. He has slept a lot while he's been here, hasn't he? It's because you keep getting him drunk. What? I haven't done that once. Not you. You. I mean, you. So, not me at all, but Maddy and Ned? Gotcha. Those brigands. You're telling me. How's Maddy doing? Well... His foot's sinking. Both of his feet are sinking in. How close are we to being done? Fairly close. I'm not super worried about getting it done without Ashley either. Red. Anyway, what were you saying? Oh, just that I think I understand everything now. And that's all. Well, I appreciate your restraint in not generously supplying me with your moral take on it. No worries. Don't want to be that guy. Dang. I'm actually gonna miss you once you're gone. Wow. Are those some honest feelings coming from you? Doth thy icy facade crack? The correct word there is dosed. And please, don't make me take it back. I guess you really got into the whole boatman of the river Styx thing, huh? You just made her leave, damn. Is that what you think I am? Kinda, yeah. Interesting. Do you not feel that way? I don't know if the metaphor is that accurate, but I can see why you draw parallels, but this place serves more as... an entrance? You don't have to come here on your way to the next place, but it's on the route for sure. Just a stopping point on the highway to hell? I'm sorry, we don't allow AC/DC references in here anymore? Well, I tried. We're less on a highway and more just an embouchure to the Empyrean? I don't know if I pronounced any of those words right, but woo! If you want to get real fancy with the wording, that is. An entrance to heaven? Very roughly speaking, yeah. But hell, I haven't seen the other side, so I can't even say that for sure. I'm fairly certain there's something there though, which, I don't know. I can take comfort in that, I guess. I can take comfort in that, I guess. Oh, and speaking of comfort, how were you feeling? Like, every particle in my body is slowly moving away from every other particle in my body. That was rather eloquent. What use is feeling pain if you can't find a fun way to describe it? Day 2, 11 p.m. Detwaymental. My head freaking hurts. It sucks. And stuff. I keep telling you the painkillers will take effect in a few minutes. I'm not gonna stop yelling about it until they do. You know, some philosophers believe that experiencing pain is one of the best ways to make sure you know you're alive. That sounds fake. Which philosophers? Famous ones? Oh my gosh, you're actually just making it up. Possibly? You could have sold it better. Say that some famous singer said it instead. Cross that generational gap. You gotta appeal to the kids. I feel like every time I do that, I just end up looking like one of those old guys who's afraid of the wide-ranging societal shifts. I mean, you are old. No, I'm not. You're like 6,000 years old. You gotta give me this one. Fine. How's your head feeling? It still sucks. How about we grab a drink and go sit outside? It's nice and cool out there. Do I have to? Yep. How are you feeling now? Better. Marginally. Come on, I'm sure the drink isn't hurting. What
What even is this?
I put 6 sugars in it.
You know me so well.
Where's the drink? So, how are things at home? What's that translate to in old people language?
Things are normal, I guess. Mom's nearly done with her PhD.
That sounds good.
It is. Probably. But she's pretty busy, so that means we're stuck eating microwave dinners at night.
That explains why you've barely left this place since last week.
I mean, I'd be here anyway.
True. You did ask her, right?
What? If I could be here?
Yeah. Don't want to invoke her wrath, do I?
She doesn't worry about me being here. You remember when she talked to Maddy about liquor licensing laws, right?
I think it was more of a lecture than a conversation. After all, Maddy wasn't doing anything wrong aside from letting you hang around after hours. I'm still amazed that Maddy didn't just tell her that we're not technically subject to the regulations since we're not registered with anyone but the council.
She made the right choice. That would have been an ugly argument. But anyway, she's fine with me being here. She's got my mobile number, and as long as I respond to her check-ins, she's not gonna come and get me.
Good. I wouldn't want to worry her. Yeah. Wonderful.
Ugh. My arm will get wet.
Don't worry about it. We can dry off inside. Just try and enjoy the rain.
Okay.
I don't know which person is speaking. I was joking about the fake philosophy earlier, but I really do think it is important to take a moment to enjoy things when you can. Rain can feel oppressive. It can stop you from going outside, doing the things you enjoy. But there's nothing like the smell of rain before sunrise.
Petrichor.
Yeah. It's faintly magical. Did I ever tell you that?
Only about 100 times.
Huh.
I can hear it 101 times. It's okay.
Alright. I'm actually getting kinda wet. Let's head in. So, given the fact that I am very obviously a dork with a bleeding heart, it's definitely safe to assume that I've let people other than you stay longer than they're technically allowed. You're so emotionally repressed that I never could have guessed. It's actually impressive. Well, you know, we all have our ways of coping with persistent, extreme stress. Millennial things. Yeah. But yes, I do understand how you feel. The separation, the difficulty in keeping your thoughts together, the base level feeling that something's slightly askew, and the fact, not the feeling, that your time is up. Never loved facts. Me neither. Honestly, I think it feels like having a cold, just without any of the physical symptoms. I guess that description works too. It's not quite as compelling as the one about your particles being repulsive, though. Alright, that's definitely not what I meant by that one. Isn't it? It's about time.
I can't believe I created these beautiful creatures and you turned them into dumb waiters.
Alas, such is life. They gotta pay rent somehow, considering how many cups they drop.
That's a feature, not a bug. It's to make them seem more alive.
You've taught them to intentionally drop coffee cups in the name of verisimilitude?
Maybe?
I'm gonna get Maddy to start ordering cheaper cups.
See? I'm promoting efficiency in our procurement cycles.
I hate whoever gave you that management book.
I'm sensing some hostility. Do I need to talk to HR?
Who's our human resources manager? I'm sure it's very good at its job. Just not at bussing coffee. Let him go. It's your ma'am. What up, ma'am? Oh, it's Maddy. Never mind, sorry.
Maddy wants us downstairs.
Oh, I suppose she's done setting up?
I'm glad she was able to do it without me. Gosh, so proud. Taught her everything I know.
You are a gremlin, you know that?
Of course. Shall we?
We eeping? Oh. Hello? If I don't do anything, will we just keep getting closer? No, we stopped. Day 3, 12 a.m., the basement. Cough. I don't know who this is. Cough, cough. It's too bloody damp down here. I know we're underground, but I don't suppose there are any windows we could open. Again, I don't know who that is. There's a ventilation duct in here somewhere. Maddy, mind opening it up? Get some fresh air circulating. Other end's blocked right now. There's a dumpster sitting on top of it. You'll have to grin and bear it. Who is that? Like, sometimes they put in character portraits so you know who's speaking, and then sometimes they don't. Oh, my bad. Can we hurry this up? We've done this before, old man. You know it takes a while to set up. I don't appreciate your tone. At the very least, can we turn some lights on? With all the crap you've got scattered around the place, I'd like to at least know where I'm putting my feet. Ashley, would you mind? We've seen this part before. Thanks. You're more organized than last time, I see. Practice makes perfect.
Hey, Maddy? How much more wire do we need?
I think that's enough. Great. Now?
Chay?
What's up, little P?
I found you a chair.
Thank you. So, this whole thing? Surely it's not legal, yeah? Yes, the council found it confronting. For good reason, I suppose. Because it utterly upsets the natural order? It's not just bureaucracy. Shush you. Most rules can be bent after all. And Maddy has a particular fascination with breaking rules.
Hey, don't give her all the credit.
Is this related to her gambling for time? Mm-hmm. So, the transfer? Was the same sort of magic we're doing now? Yes. The council successfully suppressed all available information about it, though. For good reason? What if something goes wrong? Well... you don't tend to mess it up more than once. Or try it again after you fail, for that matter. What do you even call this sort of magic, then? Question's irrelevant, because it's banned.
Extremely cool. That's what I call it.
Well, by definition, it's a conduit ritual. But hey, we're among friends, so we can call it what it really is. Necromancy, yeah! All those hours are in this tree. Why did you hoard the hours here instead of using them to pay off your debt?
Why would I use them to pay off a debt if I could use them to save a life instead?
Oh, shit. Alright. How can I help? Will the subject please step forward? Oh, for real? Worm? Council Gazette. We regret to inform you of the passing of Chay, a beloved fixture in the Australian alchemical community and owner of the terminal. As an innovator in alchemy, a material spellcraft, and as a friend to anyone and everyone who has walked through his doors, he will be missed. You ready to do this again? Sure. Try not to kill me this time. Cool. Ashley, let's do this.
Ready when you are.
I hate this. You have reservations? It's unnatural to store hours in a non-sentient being like that. It can still feel pain, and this is a very painful process. For everyone involved. Yeah? Yeah. Guess it's time for us to watch the show. Let's see how badly this can go wrong. Yay. Calcination. Solution. Separation. Conjunction. Putrefaction. Congelation. Cibation. Sublimation. Fermentation. Exhalation. Multiplication. Projection. Conjunction. Yay! Ooh. Got that Gatorade? Got that Mountain Dew? Good enough. Ashley?
Everything's nominal on my end.
We're looking good, so let's get started. Increase power to 80%. Cibation. Gushers. Ooh, break in the gushers. We freeze-dried the gushers and we threw them.
Holding steady.
Cool. Next segment.
Activating.
How are we doing?
It's going fine. Conjunction's about halfway open. Just concentrate.
Having some issues here. Hey, we need more power.
Yeah. Yep, ramping it up. I don't know if this'll melt our conduits, though. Oh, crap. Yep, our conduits are definitely melting.
Ashley,
Fuck.
bypass it.
I can patch the wires, but I don't know what else I can...
Do that. Now.
On it.
How close are we to finishing the cibation?
We're about 90%.
I wish there were more sound effects in that scene, I think.
Shit. Shit. Are we gonna try again? I think I have to reinforce the wires and that'll fix it.
Yes. We're gonna keep going until we make it through. Do or die.
What is that?
The facial expression. Reset. Then. And start again. Calcination, separation, conjunction, libation.
Not again. Just a couple seconds more. And... you've got it.
Ooh. Yes!
Beginning sublimation.
Sublimation. Who's saying this? You've got this, Maddy. What's next?
We've opened the connection. Now all I've got to do is transfer the time. How are you feeling, Chay?
I don't know.
Chay?
He's fine. No! Who is speaking?
Okay, we won't stop.
We've gotten this far. I'm not giving up now, damn it.
Maddy?
I can't hold on to it. It's slipping out of my fingers. Energy levels are dropping again. See if you can keep it going for just a few more moments.
Rerouting.
He looks fine, to be honest.
We could try it again.
I don't plan on stopping.
I think the conduit's only gonna last one more go. Then it's kaput. And maybe you're kaput too? I don't know. Shit.
Alright, Ashley, take your position again. We'll get it this time. Stop. Just... stop. No, I've nearly got it, I swear. You're not going to bring me back. No. I've humored this enough. You've done your best. But this task is beyond you. I need to move on. And it's time to make your peace with this instead of trying to pervert the natural course of things. You never asked me if I wanted to stay. You just made the choice for me and hurt yourself and everyone around you in the process. Let me leave. Yay! We're all doing so great, bestie. Yay! Look at them. They're beautiful. It's a shame I can't do any of their voices. Could you imagine Niku?
Yeah, Kobe. You're a goddamn bin chicken is what you are.
What? No way.
Rats don't eat sushi. We're garbage.
I can't. You don't know that. Yeah, well, you know what does eat sushi and garbage? What is that? Threskiornis maluka, otherwise known as the Australian bin chicken. I'm gonna look that up later. We find that term offensive. We're actually white ibises. Aha. Ha. Incriminated yourself there. I'd expect nothing less from a bin chicken. Damn it. Okay, so moving on. Classic misdirection. No. Seriously, did you two see what happened back there? Yeah, that was rough. And yes, that thing with the ritual was also tough to watch. You weren't here when Chay died, but I remember. They behaved like nothing bad happened. Like nothing had happened. No? My impression was that neither of them had ever remotely considered the possibility of failure. Idiots. Yes, but we're only here because of them, so we should be respectful. It seems to me like nobody in this cafe really seems to think things through. Yep. This place has a weird effect on people. Too much magic in the air, maybe? Who knows? Will they be okay? I don't know how I'd forgive something like that. Being kept here against my will, while my very essence breaks down. That is what I believe kids these days call a party foul. Honestly, I don't know. I think Maddy probably has some self-reflection to do. Yay! We all have self-reflection to do. I know I do. Every day of my life. Pair of saps, aren't we? Lina. Let me first do a quick little 360. Quick little 360. Great. Let's go find stuff to look at. Sometimes I just sit. Chay came down the stairs and noticed that Kashan was still seated at the counter, staring into a glass of something. It was a mixed drink of some kind, but it didn't look like coffee to Chay. "You mind company?" said Chay, leaning on the seat next to Kashan. By all means, said Kashan. I don't see anyone else using that seed. Well, you might have been using it, said Chay, as a buffer. I'm not looking for conversation, said Kashan, but I'm not really looking to avoid it either. That makes two of us, said Chay. He leaned across the counter and reached down, locating a cup and a bottle of purely by touch. He leaned across the counter and reached down, locating a cup and a bottle purely by touch from a familiar nook in the bar. He poured himself a finger of whiskey, just enough to warm his tongue. Kashan continued, staring into his own drink, his expression unwavering. Chay shrugged and sampled his own drink, feeling the warmth of the drink as the whiskey spread across his tongue and trickled down his throat. He set the glass down. The next few moments passed in silence as Kashan continued staring into his own glass and Chay absently turned his empty glass on the counter. Kashan finally broke the silence. If you're waiting for me to finish off this drink so you can offer me some of whatever that is, you might be waiting a long time, said Kashan. I wouldn't offer you this, said Chay. It's a special bottle. Older than I am. Something like that ought to be kept in private, don't you think? Said Kashan. Chay shrugged. I have no problem letting people sample it, if they want it. This bottle has a way of never running empty. But a whiskey like this, you don't get it just by sitting there passively. You have to at least take the step of asking for it. Because it only gives when people are expecting to get. If I offer, it won't work. It sounds like you have a bottle that is in the business of filling people's subconscious prophecies, said Kashan. That does seem to be the case, said Chay. I try not to think about it. Bad juju. Juju? Is that a real thing here? As real a thing here as it is anywhere, said Chay. Kashan looked contemplative for a moment. If the bottle is in the business of fulfilling people's expectations, what happens if I expect you to pour me a drink and find the bottle empty? Don't, said Chay, cutting him off. Don't even get me thinking about it, because if I start thinking about it, it might happen. I've got a good thing going here. Don't jinx it. Alright, said Kashan. Sorry if I messed with your mojo. Or juju. Or whatever it is. I didn't mean to break anything. It's not as fragile as that, said Chay. This isn't the first time I've had this conversation. Just, why play with fire if you don't have to, you know? I think I will have some of that whiskey, said Kashan. Lord knows I'm not making any progress with this. He looked at the drink in front of him and pushed it aside. Chay smiled and reached behind the counter for another glass, pouring a single finger for Kashan. Kashan took a sip. That's smooth, he said. I know, said Chay. They don't make them like they used to. Well, they do, but it'll take a few more decades to get there. Kashan cleared his throat and started coughing. He pounded his chest with his fist and let out a wheeze before settling down. You alright? Said Chay. Yeah, said Kashan. I think I'm alright. Whatever rut Kashan had been in when he sat down, he seemed to be out of it by now. There was something about that dry whiskey that had a way of catching people's throats by surprise, and there was something about a coughing fit had a way of getting butterflies out of the stomach. Maybe it wasn't much, but it was something. Chay smiled as he put away the bottle, giving it an affectionate pat as he set it down. One less case of post-mortem depression in the world. Good job, Pappy. We're drinking, my father. Thank you. Is this one? Yeah, on cherished moments. Don't mind if I do. What are you doing? Said Ned. Chay spoke without turning his head. I'm looking at the wall over there. So, nothing. No, said Chay. I'm looking at the wall over there. So, nothing. The wall has an interesting texture, said Chay. Have you ever noticed that if you stop and stare at something for long enough, it starts to just look like itself? I think you're talking crazy, said Ned. When I was younger, I was in the habit of making comparisons, said Chay. I'd see a cloud and say, oh, it looks like a duck, when it looked nothing like a duck. My mind wanted so desperately to connect the feeling of seeing a cloud to something I was familiar with. Now I'm content to just look at a cloud and appreciate it for what it is. You're really serious about this, said Ned. You're actually scrutinizing that wall. Not scrutinizing it, said Chay. Just observing it and appreciating it. How did you get to be this way? Said Ned. Why are you the way you are now? Chay shrugged. I realized at a certain point that I might as well cherish every moment. I don't understand you, said Ned. I thought cherish every moment was about spending time with your loved ones, getting the most out of life, not wasting away, staring at a wall. You're right. You don't understand me, said Chay. If the only moments you can cherish are the ones you're with friends or family or hearing a great song or having a great meal, that's just cherishing the precious moments. You're selectively choosing moments to cherish. I mean to cherish every moment. Standing in line at the store? Cherish it. Alone in a room with no one but yourself for company? Cherish it. That sounds impossible, said Ned. It's hard. Not impossible, said Chay. But it gets easier when you practice. I'm not sure whether I pity you or envy you, said Ned. There you go again, said Chay. Always trying to make a comparison. Looking at another person and considering whether to pity them because they're worse off than you or envy you because they're better off. Never willing to just let them be what they are and let yourself be what you are. Okay, now you're starting to sound profound. Chay grinned. Did I accidentally deliver a bit of cogent wisdom there? You might have, said Ned. I think if there's anyone who ought to appreciate what I'm saying, it's you, said Chay. You probably know better than most folks that not every day can be full of wonderful moments. Some days are just ordinary. Some days you've got little beyond your own thoughts for company. I guess I'm such good friends with my own thoughts that I forgot that they were there, said Ned. Ned slumped next to Chay. What are you doing? Said Chay. I'm gonna stare at this wall until it starts looking like itself, said Ned. There you go again, said Chay. Looking at something with an expectation of what it's gonna look like. You've gotta let go of that, man. Fuck. Now you've got me thinking about my own brain. This is like one of those things where someone tells you not to think of an elephant and then it becomes impossible not to. I wasn't kidding when I said it was hard, said Chay. I also wasn't kidding when I said it gets easier with practice. Well then, said Ned. I guess I may as well start now. We love to disassociate and stare at the wall. We love ourselves a disassociating royalty. Oh, the AC. Don't mind if I do. Don't worry about it. I got you. Ned leaned with his back against the counter, resting both of his elbows on the surface behind him. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lean on my counter, said Maddy. Your counter? Yes, it's my counter, said Maddy. So please don't lean on it. Ned laughed. People lean on this counter all the time. Customers lean on this counter. You're not a customer. What if I ask for a drink? Then am I a customer? We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone, so no. Simply requesting a drink would not make you a customer. A man with long, thin arms approached the counter. Can I get 2 lattes, 1 vanilla, and 1 with soy milk? You got it, said Maddy. We'll have that right out for you. Thanks, said the thin man, who took a seat at a table near the entrance. Maddy preoccupied herself with making the drink. Hey, Chay, said Ned. Chay looked up. Do you ever feel like what you all do here is insignificant? Said Ned. Running the terminal? Making drinks, said Ned. You know, there's more to life than creature comforts. I enjoy a coffee as much as the next guy, but it's not gonna get too pampered. I'm not sure that enjoying a nice drink is what I'd call pampering, said Chay. But if I had my choice between a pampered life and an unpampered one, I'd definitely pick the former. I say that as someone who's known what it's like to lead an unpampered life. Unpampered. You have a typo there. Suppose so, said Ned. I just think overindulging in creature comforts will be the downfall of civilization. Not that I'd have a problem with that. Civilization is pretty overrated as it is. I don't think that lattes are feeling a collapse of society, said Chay. One might even say that the ability to walk into a cafe, ask for a drink, and have it made to order is civilization. You know what it's like to live in a world without air conditioning, said Ned. So do I, shouted Maddy from across the room. Wasn't talking to you, said Ned. And no, living in an apartment with no AC is not the same as living in a world without air conditioning. Because when you lay in bed at night, you know at any time you could go out and buy a window unit. Not sure what your point is, said Chay. Of course you don't, said Ned. Neither did the Romans. That didn't stop them from getting invaded. I know that you're not that old, said Chay. Don't have to be old when you've got books, said Ned. And these books had a chapter about how the Romans were caught completely unaware in air-conditioned cafes while sipping lattes as the invaders came to destroy their way of life. Precisely, said Ned. They were sitting indoors with the windows closed and couldn't hear the barbarians streaming into their lands. One moment you're sitting down in a recliner, the next you've got a spear through your chest. Chay raised his eyebrows in a way that gave the impression of someone who had just rolled his eyes without wanting to invest the effort of having to roll his eyes. I think I'll take the recliner. And when I wind up with a spear in my chest, you can come and laugh at me, said Chay. Sure, said Ned. Like I said, I've got no dog in this fight. I'm not offering advice, just judgment. You can go on doing whatever you want, and I'll keep thinking less of you for it. Chay glared at Ned. Said Ned. Not that I'd judge you. You know what it's like to have a hard life. I can tell from the calluses on your hands. You don't get those by accident. Ned lowered his voice and glanced at Maddy. But her. You and I both know that kids these days. Chay grabbed Ned by the scruff of the neck and jerked him violently before softly speaking directly into his ear. Don't ever try and judge her, Ned. You don't know the first thing about what she's been going through. Chay let go of Ned's collar, but not before giving him a violent tug. Fine, I get it. You're overprotective, said Ned. But not everyone here is like your little protege. Like Mr. Scrawny over there. He jerked his thumb in the direction of the thin-armed man who was awaiting his lattes. Same thing goes for him, said Chay. What do you know about what he's been through? Who are you to judge? Ned raised his hands defensively. I'm just saying, Times aren't what they used to be. You're right. Times aren't what they used to be, said Chay. And do you know what I've learned from being around for quite a while? It doesn't get easier. I get stronger. But life doesn't get easier. So kindly fuck off with any of your kids these days bullshit. Sheesh, said Ned. You know, as old souls go, you're no fun to commiserate with. Sorry to be a disappointment, said Chay. He stood up and started to walk away. It's odd, said Ned, not looking up. Chay stopped and turned to him. What is? To see you give so much of a fuck, said Ned. I thought you had no fucks left to give. I've fucks left to give, but they're not as plentiful as they used to be, said Chay. So I have to save them for the things I care about. I was just bullshitting, you know, said Ned. Taking the piss out of everyone is supposed to be a recreational pastime. I was just working with the material in front of me. You were right about one thing, said Chay. About our society being overrun with invaders who destroy our way of life. That's quite an about-face. Chay placed an arm around Ned and pointed at Maddy. Invader. He pointed at two 20-somethings chatting in the corner. Invaders. He pointed at an Ashling, scuttling across the floor. Tools of the invaders. The world used to belong to the likes of you and me, and now it doesn't. Every generation, a new generation comes, bringing their new ways with them, invading our world. Folks like you and I, we're the ones who have to worry about being caught unaware. Because pretty soon, the world is gonna belong to people like them. In fact, I think that day may have already come, and we just haven't realized it yet. Christ, said Ned. You make it sound so apocalyptic. Funny, said Chay. I thought I was being optimistic. Oh, to be optimistic in this economy? Not in this world. Let's see. Anything over here? Oh, we got Beth 3. Is that it? Yes. Alright, Beth 3, tell me more. Ow, my hands. What the hell is going on down here? As Maddy descended the stairs, the huddle broke, revealing a girl sitting on the floor, looking dazed. The man leaning over her spoke. Beth, are you... I'm fine, said Beth, with no quotations there, swinging her arms around, clearly only barely aware of her surroundings, but aware enough that she didn't want to give off the appearance of not being completely in control of the situation she was in. Maddy got down on the floor next to her. You're bleeding. Beth touched the back of her head, then looked down at the pool of blood. Sorry, I must have fallen and hit my head. Maddy looked up. You, big guy. Go upstairs and ask Chay for an ice pack. She helped Beth sit up. You can see okay? Yeah, said Beth. Just a little dizzy. Maddy inspected the wound on the back of her head. Doesn't look too deep. Just broke the skin. Good news, kid. No permanent brain damage for you today. Beth apparently had enough control of her senses to roll her eyes. Lucky me. Of course, I'm questioning whether you weren't already brain damaged, because I'm guessing those two knives on the floor have something to do with your present condition. Maddy looked up at several members of the crowd that was sitting by, nervously and passively watching. Am I wrong? She paused. I'm not hearing any denials. Come on, people. 2 actual rules, and you managed to break both of them in one night. The man Maddy had sent upstairs came back down with an ice pack she had requested. Chay said he can bring first aid if not necessary, said Maddy. Here, she said, handing the ice pack to Beth. Hold that against the back of your head. I'm not sure if it does anything to blood flow, but it'll at least numb the area. Why would I want to be numb? Better than being in pain, said Maddy. Then again, I'm talking to someone who just decided that a fun way to spend an evening would be trying to avoid the wrong end of a steak knife. Maddy scanned the rest of the group. Anyone else have any wounds? Don't hide them if you do. It's just me, said Beth. No one even got cut. And no one's going to get cut, said Maddy, looking up and speaking to the crowd. Come on, people. I don't care who you are. As long as you're here, you have real blood, and I can't have you bleeding all over my floor. You can't just wash blood stains out of a wood floor. Maddy pointed to the staircase. I think you should all find something else to do. You can stick around upstairs, but if you cause any trouble, we do have ways of removing you, and no one wants that. Some of you, this might be your last night here. Don't force us to put it to a swift end. Everyone shuffled towards the staircase, including Beth, who had managed to stand up. Maddy grabbed her by the arm. Not you. You are not moving until the wound in the back of your head stops bleeding. It already has, said Beth. Let me see, said Maddy, examining the wound. Sit back down. Beth, again, no quotation. Beth obeyed and took a seat, cross-legged on the floor. Maddy crouched next to her and began cleaning and dressing the wound. Why do you do this? Said Maddy. Beth countered Maddy's question with one of her own. Why do you have a fight club that's so formalized that there are rules posted on the wall? I understand why people do it in general, said Maddy. People spend their time without a physical body, and when they get it back, they then want an adrenaline rush. They want some kind of thrill. What I want to know is why you? Why does a girl who looks like she can't be older than 16 years old want to get into blood sports? You don't know what it's like, said Beth. I know what it's like to be a teenage girl, said Maddy, but I've never felt the urge to start getting into fights with men twice my size. Beth turned away. You don't know what it's like to want to feel something, said Beth. To feel so numb that you want to cry and then be unable to cry. You just feel nothing. That's what it's been like for me. I just wanted to feel something. I just wanted to feel like I was alive for a change. Spoiling for a dose of pain to escape the numbness? Said Maddy. I'd agree if you didn't say it condescendingly like that. Getting punched, not enough pain for you? I wanted it to feel real, said Beth. Beth looked at the ice pack and felt the back of her head, which seemed to have stopped bleeding. You want to know the truth? I wanted this to happen. That's why I came here. Maddy shook her head. I can't empathize. It's clear that I've never gone through what you have. So, in the absence of empathy, the best I can offer you is my sympathy. Are you done bleeding? Have you gotten your fill of thrills? Yes to both, said Beth. You'll probably be fine without a bandage, said Maddy. You're lucky it was only this bad. You can stick around if you want to, but try not to do anything too physical. I wouldn't want you to open up that wound and start bleeding everywhere. I think I've had enough for tonight. For one night, said Beth. I'll see myself out. If you're ready to go, then go, said Maddy. But I don't want to feel like I'm chasing you out. Beth followed Maddy upstairs. Kyle was waiting for them by the bar. Beth, he said, I'm sorry about the whole, Don't be, said Beth. I had a lot of fun tonight. Me too, no quotation, said Kyle. You really had me on the ropes towards the end. In fact, I feel like I couldn't leave this world on a better note. I just thought I'd stick around to see if you were okay. I was just about to leave too, said Beth. You want to live together? I'm curious about how, things work. Sure, said Kyle. The two fighters walked to the door of the cafe and walked down the catwalk towards the terminal exit. You're a real fighter, said Kyle. Thanks. said Beth, politely responding to his compliment. Not like me, said Kyle. You really know what you're doing. Beth smiled. Kyle wasn't praising her just to praise her. He had actually noticed her skill. Where'd you learn to fight like that? He said. Beating people like you, said Beth. Nah, said Kyle. I guess I'm just the last in a long line of guys who had no idea what they were doing. Hopefully not the last, said Beth. They reached the end of the terminal and Carl got ready to step out. Hold on, said Beth. Shall we do this together? Kyle blinked. Sure. Alright, on 3, she said. 1, 2, and on 3, they both stepped over the threshold. Beth stumbled onto the street and looked around her. Kyle was nowhere to be seen, somehow vanished from existence. Beth looked over her shoulder through the still open door and paused a moment before pulling out her phone to call for a ride. Sometimes you're just a teen and you just want to feel something. Uh-oh. Oh, yep. I guess there was one more. Don't mind if I do. After I get a sip of water. Espresso machine's acting up again. Maddy sighed. Why does it have to be like this? It doesn't have to be like this, said Chay. You're right, said Maddy. It wasn't always like this. If you travel back in time far enough, you'll find an era when we had a working espresso machine. And if you travel even further back, you'll get to a time when espresso machines didn't exist, said Chay. Maddy reached below the counter for the bottle of Chardonnay she had opened that morning. It was half empty. Is this the prelude to one of those moments where an old man tells me about how lucky we are to have things so easy? Nah, said Chay. Things aren't easier. In fact, they're harder. That's why you need all the modern technology to help deal with them. Chay nodded to the wine bottle in Maddy's hand. So, are you just gonna offer me some of that, or just keep squeezing its neck like you're trying to choke it? Maddy began pouring a drink for Chay. So, what were things like back in the old days? Well, for one thing, we didn't need glasses back then. Glasses are not a new invention, old man. I've seen pictures of Benjamin Franklin. Well, yeah, we had glasses back then. We didn't use them. We drank straight from the bottle. Har har. No, really, said Chay. Glasses are just one more thing to keep track of. One more thing to clean. It's much easier to just pass a bottle back and forth. That may be the case, said Maddy, but I'm sure our patrons appreciate the extra effort that goes into making sure they're always drinking from clean glasses. I'm sure they do, said Chay. That's another thing that's changed. Everyone's a connoisseur of whatever they're drinking. Is that you finger wagging about how young people all have particular tastes? No, said Chay. At least I don't think it is. I guess people are all enjoying the present moment more. Back when we drank sock juice, you were just doing whatever it took to get that stimulant into your bloodstream. Ditto for most depressants. Do I want to know what sock juice is? Said Maddy. Because I'm fairly certain I don't. We didn't have coffee filters back then, said Chay. So you'd use a sock instead. Don't worry, we always used clean socks whenever they were available. Maddy closed her eyes, looking physically ill. You were saying something about people enjoying the present moment, before that thoroughly awful digression about how you made coffee. Yeah, said Chay. I know there's this stereotype about how in modern society no one is ever really present. But if anything, I feel like it's the other way around. Nowadays, people are all about enjoying the present moment. People used to be way more obsessed with where they were going. As in, where they were migrating to. In a manner of speaking, said Chay. Let's just say that I'm amazed how few people these days come in here asking questions about heaven and hell. 100 years ago, if you caught someone on their way out of this world, the first thing they wanted to know was, which place is this? And after they found out they were on a temporary stop to the next place, they'd want to know where it was they were going. There's still plenty of that, said Maddy. Yeah, but a lot less of it, said Chay. And you know, I don't think it was a case of people's priorities suddenly changing once they found themselves standing on the precipice. There were people who used to describe themselves as God-fearing. It was just a part of life. And now it's not. He shrugged. I guess people found more important things to worry about. There wasn't a lot going on back then. He took a sip of Chardonnay. Good thing I'm going to live forever. Worried you'd go to hell? Hell yes, said Chay. I've done way too much sinning to ever make it into heaven. You've done more good than ill for the world, said Maddy. I'm pretty sure that balances it out. You probably have a positive balance. Nah, said Chay. I don't think it works like that. I'm pretty sure I'm just a bad person who happens to do good things most of the time. Well, it might not be good enough for heaven, but it's good enough for me, said Maddy. So I guess it is a good thing that you're going to live forever. Nice. Sometimes you just want to live forever. Now we can leave the door. And now we can leave the door again. Is this still a door for me? Is this still a door for me? No. Great, thanks. Did you see that? It's like there was a second door. One second, let me get in here. Okay. Yeah, did you see it? Door 2. I hate that guy is still here. I wish he would leave. You need to leave. Right, so we are good to go until the next chapter. So what I'll do, as usual, is I will leave it here. But I will see you next time. I hope you all have a good day. And goodbye.